is Soldiers of Fortune Beta by LMG. A rebel force in Coral Hall has appeared, calling themselves Alpha Squadron! A small battalion containing the Dominion's elite mercenaries is dispatched to take care of the insurgent forces. Use strategic assaults and advanced weaponry to bring stability back to Coral Hall. How to play. Select a hero and a weapon type. Defend your base from the enemy. Use the shop to buy abilities and upgrades. How to win. Destroy all the bases. Advanced instructions. Open the shop by clicking your base or the shop button. Use restoration packs to heal your hero. Heroes killed respawn at base. If the base is destroyed, heroes cannot respawn, so, if your base and all heroes are dead, it's game over! Whoa, lots of patch notes. Reviews, none because it's not published. This is LMG's, in-progress map. Soldiers of Fortune by LMG!
So, this is Soldier of Fortune version beta, since it's still in development. And it's by LMG.
Yes. Now Ricky will say the loading screen. Probably. Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, I mean alpha rather than beta.
Interesting. My guess is that I'm an observer in this game, right? And so my sense is that there must be a picking screen right now where the heroes are picking. And until that picking screen is resolved, I won't be able to move the screen. This is actually really similar to LMG's other zombie defense terrain. I wonder if it's actually the same terrain. No, it's not. It's definitely different. And see, so as soon as they pick their heroes, now the observer can view the map. So we have recovery stations, we have the mercenary fortress, we have the 4 heroes, we have Steak as a mechanic with his 18 damage to light and 1.2 attack speed, the capacity to buy turret upgrades later on. We have the Doctor with 18 versus armored and 1.2 attack speed, and Cure. That's the Stukov command card ability, which makes it kind of funny to sing it as Cure. Usually I think that as the focus fire ability, but whatever. We have the Specialist, a Rainer unit, going in for 36 to mechanical damage at 1.6 attack speed. So a little bit slower, but a lot more damage. And then the Marksman, with 30 damage to light and 0.8 attack speed, so high attack speed and high damage. And not only that, some of his abilities include accelerates rapid fire, which accelerates the cyclic rate of the unit's weapon, increasing attack speed by 50% for 10 seconds and a 20-second cooldown. So LMG is a fan of these group-based player versus environment games. His other one was a zombie-themed game where you fought off wave after wave of zombie. I think it was actually relatively popular. And in this one, he's saying, okay, I'm going to have the enemies be Terrans this time. People with guns and bullets, and kind of the same basic principle in game design, which is you are being attacked by many enemy waves, and you have to work as a team to defend against them. But a different tone and a different style. And all in all, does that make this feel a little bit more or less like, what is it? Special Forces, right? That would be the main comparison that people would be a little bit more familiar with. But I would say that actually the other one that he made was more like Special Forces, and this one actually feels a little bit... I mean, it's similar in principle, but just starting off fighting ranged and Terran units who are coming in drop pods with planetary fortresses, it's just stylistically different. It has a little bit of a different feel. You feel like you're fighting, you know, off enemy waves in a city, rather than fighting off enemy waves of Zerg crop in some boondocks part of the galaxy. But, you know, mechanically, from a gameplay perspective, how different does that make things? Well, you know, fighting predominantly ranged units is very different than fighting predominantly melee units, just as a basic point of game design. So, yeah, I would say it feels pretty different. Now, the main appeal for the player here is going to be getting minerals, and I feel like I should be able to, you know, I don't know where the minerals would be appearing, though. Are they just spending them instantly, or what? I don't know. Because the idea of, like, fighting versus Zerg is that sometimes you're just going to be, like, kiting them, basically. But when it's primarily ranged units, I mean, there's some fire bats, but for the most part, you're kiting, you can't really kite Marines and Hellions and such, right? You have to be able to fight them off. Otherwise, you're not going to do so well. And so LMG's hero is respawning in 4, 3, 2, 1. LMG, the creator of the map, has respawned with his 71 kill specialist, getting up to 45 now mechanical damage. His penetrator round now does 100 damage to units in a line. And they're up against a Eradicator, a unit which does 630 structure damage. Oh, it was morphing. But then it died before it finished morphing. There's another one. 30 damage to structures at 0.86 attack speed, and 16 damage normally, with 5 range. Oh, there's a couple of them here. Now, is this going to morph as well? Does it morph when it gets low, or what? No? Not sure why that other one was morphing then. Oh, yeah, it seems like when they get very, very low, that's when they start to morph. And so if you don't cap it right then, I guess that it becomes a big threat or a concern or something. Let's go into HK's perspective. Healing the peoples. Gotta make sure you're watching both the people you feel responsible for healing, which in this case is Kelth and LMG. So let's see how Kelth looks. Focus firing the supports, the medics, and then jumping around to the Marines. You know, whatever you feel like at that time. He has not yet purchased Rapid Fire or Stim Pack from the shop. Alright, how about LMG? Yes, LMG is using his... Oh, interesting. So, actually when I'm in his perspective, you can see what the shop looks like there whenever it pops up. So he buys things from the shop very, very quickly. Looks like Steak is also using things from the shop every now and then. So let's see if how often he pulls up the shop. Oh, see, so you can just pull up the shop like from there if you were the player. Oops. The nice thing about the turrets is that they draw aggro from the Marauders and the Warhounds and other big units. A planetary fortress has been destroyed, so the enemy computer units are weakening. Oh, there's an invisible predator attacking. Gotta watch out for those invisible predators. They're slippery ones. State cam. Going to fight the planetary fortress. So he looks over and he's like, what's the rest of my team doing? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep pushing this planetary fortress. The problem is that the more he pushes into this planetary fortress, if he's fighting units at the same time, the fortress is going to be firing on his turrets. Which means they will sometimes die a little bit. But, oh, they're getting some good damage in on this turret now. The planetary fortress is 3 armor. Does 40 damage at 2 attack speed, so 20 damage a second. So it does take some time to get these turrets down, right? I mean, each turret has 750 life. It's not really enough for the planetary fortress itself to drop the turret in a reasonable time. I'm applying actual game design theory stuff here. Kind of like a practice. Go on. What game design theory elements are you thinking of, LMG? I want all the details.
Well, he's not on Ventrilo, by the way.
He's not.
Why, at least I don't think he is.
No, he's not. I'm actually trying to figure out what he actually means. Yes, Survivor Zerg is what he was talking about earlier. Oh, I see what he means now. You would vote on which terrain you want. Kind of like Zealot. Zealot. Oh, what happens once they kill the last of these planetaries? They seem to be making heavy progress on this last base. So do the units actually spawn, or are they just splash damage? No, no, they're spawning at full life. Did we win? Did they die? Oh, that's the game. Seems pretty straightforward, but not necessarily bad as a result. I'm not sure about the thing where it becomes objectively easier over time because there's fewer things spawning, so you...
And that was Soldier of Fortune Alpha.
Was it everything you hoped and dreamed it would be, Ricky? LMG wants the players to learn how to use the shop. And so you should. Alright, I'll go ahead and pause the stream there, but there'll be more games from the Starcraft 2 arcade coming up